Good morning, seniors. Welcome to the essentially last day of your high school careers. Technically that's tomorrow, but there'll be no new work for you tomorrow, so for the most part it's today. Just want to thank you for the work you've put in this class, for the ways you've blessed our school. You deserve to be very much commended for persevering through this situation. I know my heart goes out to all the things that unfortunately you had to miss out on to end your high school careers. Nobody wants to end high school on that note. But hopefully there'll be a light at the end of this tunnel and we'll be able to persevere and keep moving forward regardless. There are two things I need you to do before Friday 3 p.m. to end this class. One of them is to double check PowerSchool and make sure that all of your work is turned in and complete. Anything that is missing and incomplete will be marked as a 0, and I would hate to do that to you, so please just double check and make sure you've got everything turned in that needs to get turned in. Let me know if you have questions about that. And the second thing you need to do is complete this quote exam end quote. This is your culminating activity for the course. This will be a test grade, but it is a very abbreviated version of what a test or an exam would look like. It's pretty short, it's just a couple questions. So here are the questions you have to respond to, and if you have any questions about what I'm really asking from you, please let me know. I'd try my best to clarify that for you. So the first one is, why is studying current events and issues important? Explain why using complete sentences and multiple reasons/examples. When I say multiple, that means you need to provide at least 2 of them. Please be specific, and once again use complete sentences for that. Second, from everything we've talked about in this class, and you guys did case studies at the very start, we then talked about the idea of responsible news. We transitioned to various forms of immigration, and we just barely started this idea of global protest. But of everything we've done, what would be the biggest takeaway from you about current events from this class? And try to, 1, be specific in what that is, and then 2, kind of explain why and how it stood out so much. Third, in your opinion, for your generation, so all the seniors and high schoolers out there, what's the biggest challenge that you face for how Christians respond to current events and issues today? What's the biggest challenge and obstacle and hurdle that you need to overcome to respond to current events and issues in a Christ-like, faith-based Christian way? And explain kind of how and why whatever idea you explain is such a challenge and so important for Christians to face. Then the last graded question, we talked about the idea of being distinct, being different, salt, light, and aroma of Christ. Christians are called to live in a way that looks different than non-Christians. Our faith should create that, because faith isn't just something that's inside, it's something that's lived out through our actions, words, and deeds. So when we study and respond to current events, what does that mean to be different, to be the salt, light, and aroma of Christ? I want you to explain multiple ways that it looks different, multiple examples. Please use complete sentences. Be specific. And I would recommend maybe using a specific example of how a Christian should respond to some example of a current event or issue, because I think that will help illustrate your points in a clearer way for me to understand. It's not required to do that. I would just strongly recommend it to make sure your ideas are expressed in a clear and complete way. The last thing isn't graded, but it is required. You need to do it in order to finish this quote exam. I'm just curious to know, as of right now, what your plans are for the next step of life after high school. If you're hoping and choosing to go to college, what college are you planning on going to? And feel free to tell me if you have like a major or an idea of what you want to major in. I'd love to know that as well. If you're planning on not going to college and maybe going straight into the workforce, what does that look like for you? If you're planning on doing something else, or if you're not sure, I'd love to know that as well. And also please let me know how I can be praying for you moving forward. Otherwise, once again, thank you for your work. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this summer, even if it looks quite different than what it is before. May the Lord continue to be with you and please know that you will be greatly missed.